demonic entity entered into this high school, causing a wave of possession among students. Find out what happened next in our recap of the movie Supernatural. The show begins with a scene in a high school lunchroom where a blonde teenager named Taylor is being verbally attacked by her classmates who call her derogatory names. The head cheerleader declares that Taylor is no longer welcome at their table, prompting her to seek solace at an almost empty table where April, a comparatively fat classmate, is sitting. April tries to comfort Taylor, but the latter responds by lashing out and insulting her appearance before storming off the next day in the bathroom. Taylor is crying and fixing her makeup when April approaches her from behind. Fearful, Taylor apologizes for her previous remarks, but April comforts her, leading to a physical altercation. April violently attacks Taylor, smashing her face into a mirror, hitting her head on the sink, and ultimately drowning her in a toilet. Throughout the assault, a black tear drips from April's eyes, suggesting something supernatural is at play. Afterward, April finds herself in a mental wart, where she confides in our protagonist, Sam Winchester, who is disguised as a lawyer. Taylor expresses frustration that no one believes her, despite telling the truth. But Sam assures her that he's there to help and encourages her to share everything about the incident. Though hesitant, Taylor reveals that she felt possessed during the attack, aware of her actions, but unable to control them. When Sam asks about any unusual smells like sulfur or black smoke during the possession, April dismisses the question, considering it absurd. Later in the car, Sam provides his brother Dean with a detailed update about April's situation. He suggests that April may have been possessed by a demon, even though they haven't observed the typical signs like black smoke and sulfur. He then suggests they go to the school and investigate the matter. Dean initially resists, teasing Sam about their past experiences at Truman High, the school they briefly attended. He questioned Sam's motive for wanting to return there, but eventually agrees to investigate. After Sam convinces him, the story then flashes back to 1997 when Sam is a shy freshman, and Dean is the cool guy in a leather jacket. Sam feels frustrated about frequently changing schools and leaving behind friends, and hearing this, Dean reassures him that once their father returns, they will settle down and lead a happy life. Next, Sam enters the classroom and comes off as rude and arrogant. While finding his seat, he accidentally drops a butterfly knife, which catches the attention of a nerdy student named Barry. Barry is impressed by Sim's quick reflexes and introduces himself. However, trouble arises when a larger student named Dirk starts tormenting Barry by flicking his ear. Seeing this, Sam steps in and firmly tells Dirk to stop surprising him with his assertiveness. Now back to the present day, Dean puts on a funny disguise, wearing tight shorts, knee-high socks, and a red headband. He becomes Coach Ron, a substitute gym teacher with a quirky personality at Truman High School. Dean then introduces dodgeball as the game of the day, proclaiming it as one of the greatest games ever invented. In the midst of a chaotic dodgeball game, Sam enters and informs Dean that there are no signs of demonic activity or strange substances in the school. Following this, Sam acknowledges his earlier mistake and suggests they leave after lunch. The scene then shifts to a laboratory, where a nerdy student is fixated on a food processor. Suddenly, when his classmate mocks him, the nerd loses control and inserts the bully's wrist into the processor, resulting in a gruesome injury and blood splattering. However, immediately afterward, the nerdy student collapses and a dark liquid oozes from his ears. Sam arrives at the scene and recognizes this as a clear indication of demonic presence in the school. Afterward, Sam checks the school lockers for any signs of supernatural activity and discusses the situation with Dean. They don't find any indications of the supernatural in the school, but come to the conclusion that a ghost has possessed the nerdy kid. Looks into the school records, and while it may seem unrelated, he also finds information about the legal status of cheerleaders. In those records, they discovered that a student named Barry Cook killed himself in 1998 in the same bathroom where another student, Taylor, passed away. It seems that Barry's method of operation involves using nerdy kids as vessels to take revenge on bullies. Dean asks if this aligns with Barry's typical behavior, and Sam responds with a sense of sadness, stating that Barry had a difficult life, and he knows him personally. In a flashback to 1997, Barry is walking down the hallway when a bully purposely knocks him down. Seeing this, Sam arrives to his aid, helping him pick up his things as they talk. Barry brushes off the incident, sharing his plan to study veterinary medicine at Michigan State because he believes animals are kinder than people. Meanwhile, Dean is in the locker room kissing a girl named Amanda Heckerling, who is well known in the school. Dean suggests going on a date to watch the movie I Spit on Your Grave at midnight, but Amanda declines. She explains that she has a strict curfew of 11 o'clock, and breaking it would result in a long grounding by her parents. When she asks Dean about his curfew, he reveals that he doesn't have one since their father is out of town, and he and Sam are staying at a local motel enjoying their freedom. Curious, Amanda asks if he misses their father, but Dean remains quiet, moving on. When Sam and Barry are walking in the hallway, their conversation is interrupted by Dirk, the bully, who confronts Barry. Again, Sam tells Barry to leave and refuses to engage in a fight despite Dirk provoking him. Barry then quickly goes to find a teacher for help as Sam tries to walk away. Dirk grabs his shoulder, turns him around, and punches. Sam's face fills with anger, but before he can retaliate, a teacher steps in and stops the fight in the present day. Sam and Dean find Barry's grave and perform the necessary ritual to put his spirit to rest. They bid him farewell and leave the location after burning his bones during their drive. Sam reflects on his past friendship with Barry and wonders if he could have helped. Dean reminds him of the challenges Barry faced, including his parents' divorce struggles at school and reliance on medication. He also assures Sam that it wasn't his fault and expresses relief at leaving that town and school behind back in 1997. Dean confronts Sam about the incident with Dirk, expressing his desire to seek revenge. However, Sam asserts that he didn't need Dean's help and explains that he refrained from fighting back because he wanted to be seen as a normal student. Hearing this, Dean questioned Sam's view, asking if it's considered normal to endure a beating. Sam avoids answering and shifts the conversation to their father, asking if they have received any news from him. Dean informs Sam that their father's job will require at least another week. Sam tries to comfort Dean by mentioning his relationship with Amanda, but Dean reveals that she wants him to meet her parents, which makes him uncomfortable. Later, after the class is over, Sam's teacher, Mr. Wyatt, asks him to stay to discuss an essay assignment. Mr. Wyatt questions Sam's choice of a non-fiction topic, as Sam had written about killing a werewolf the previous summer. Sam assumes that he might receive a failing grade, but to his surprise, Mr. Wyatt gives him an A and praises his writing skill. He then suggests that Sam consider pursuing a writing career, but Sam explains that he feels obligated to follow the family business. This prompts Mr. Wyatt to ask Sam if he genuinely wants to join the family business, and the latter replies that no one has ever asked him that question before. In the present day, Sam remembers his impactful conversation with Mr. Wyatt, who shared his own journey from an aspiring surgeon to teacher. Inspired by this, Sam asks Dean to take him back to Truman High School so that he can talk to Mr. Wyatt later. While walking down the hallway, Sam is approached by a girl seeking directions. He helps her, but to his surprise, she suddenly stabs him in the chest. The girl reveals herself as a possessed individual, but Sam fights back using salt to expel the ghost from her. In the next scene, Dean offers Sam some whiskey as they discuss their plan to deal with the ghost. Sam is puzzled that the ghost knew his name, considering that they already burned Barry's bones. Meanwhile, Dean examines the files and realizes that all three victims rode the same bus. They deduced that the ghost must be tied to the bus, as spirits usually haunt the places they're connected to. Next, they investigate the bus and find electromagnetic field EMF readings indicating a supernatural presence. Since no deaths occurred on the bus, they understand they need to uncover what links the spirit to it. Meanwhile, Dean searches the driver's compartment and discovers a new bus permit belonging to Dirk McGregor Sr., the father of the bully Dirk. In a flashback to 1997, Dirk trips Barry as they head to the bus. Sam intervenes, but Dirk pushes him to the ground and taunts him. Having had enough, Sam finally fights back, skillfully dodging Dirk's punches and delivering a powerful beat down. Utilizing the skills he acquired from his demon-hunting father, Sam emerges victorious and gives Dirk the nickname Dirk the Jerk. Everyone begins chanting the nickname, and Dirk runs away from there feeling ashamed. In the present day, Sam and Dean visit Dirk Sr.'s home to gather information about his son. They learn that Dirk Jr. passed away at 18 due to substance abuse. Dirk Sr. expresses regret over his inability to help his son and reveals the hardships Dirk faced at school, including bullying and being called Dirk the Jerk. Struggle due to the lack of financial means. Next, Sam is overwhelmed with guilt upon learning about Dirk's difficult past, including caring for his mother as she suffered from cancer. Dirk's father explains that witnessing his mother's slow deterioration had a profound impact on Dirk. Fuel his anger, all of a sudden, Dean quickly asks about Dirk's burial location, but the father reveals that Dirk was cremated. However, he also reveals that he kept a lock of Dirk's hair in his Bible, which is inside the school bus. The scene then shifts to the bus, which is currently transporting a team with Eddie, the substitute bus driver, who is showing signs of being possessed by Dirk's spirit. Eddie drives recklessly, causing concern among the coach. Fortunately, Sam and Dean are well prepared to intervene. They sabotage the road, forcing Eddie to crash and stop. They then quickly restrain Eddie, who is possessed by Dirk, with a rope soaked in salt water. Using this opportunity, Dean enters the bus in search of the Bible but fails to find it. Meanwhile, Sam confronts Eddie, who goes on a monologue about the bullying he endured and his desire for revenge against the bully and popular kids. Hearing this, Sam asserts that neither of them were truly evil, but victims of fear and misery trapped in the difficult environment of high school. He expresses remorse that Dirk and Barry didn't get to experience life beyond those troubled times. In an intense moment, the possessed Eddie breaks free from his restraints, prompting Dean to shoot him with a salt round Dirk's spirit, then leaves Eddie's body and possesses the strongest team member who attacks Sam. Right then, Dean searches Eddie's body and discovers the lock of Dirk's hair, which he ignites with his Zippo lighter as the hair burns. Dirk's spirit is released, turning to ash in the wind. The possessed team member then collapses on top of Sam back in 1997. Amanda catches Dean with another girl in the locker room. Amanda isn't angry but disappointed as she mentions that she had hoped to see more depth and sensitivity from Dean. Beyond his cool facade, Dean tries to defend himself by claiming to be a hero who saves lives, but Amanda sees through his act and calls him a sad and lonely kid before walking away. Meanwhile, Sam receives praise and admiration for standing up to Dirk, gaining popularity among his peers. Right then, their father calls Dean, indicating that it's time to leave. Wasting no time, Dean hurries to the car, urging Sam to join him as Sam looks up at a classroom window. He sees Barry watching him with a sad expression. Sam waves goodbye, gets into the car, and they drive off, leaving behind the unknown fate of Barry. In the present day, Sam fulfills his plan to visit Mr. Wyatt, who recognizes him with a little reminder. Sam expresses gratitude for the advice Mr. Wyatt gave him, encouraging him to make his own choices rather than blindly following the family business. Sam reveals that he went to college because of Mr. Wyatt's influence, but admits that as one grows older, responsibilities become more significant. Mr. Wyatt emphasizes that Sam's happiness is the most important thing. The episode ends with Sam realizing that he doesn't have a clear answer to whether he is truly happy with his life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, smash that subscribe button. I will leave 2 amazing recaps on the end screen, far more interesting than this one. You won't want to miss it.